told me, remember, because the USB thing was like 1.0 instead of
I just made it up,
3.0.
dude. I made it up.
That's how it is, too. See, I'm gullible enough to actually believe you. I bought it. Man.
That's hilarious.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
Hi.
How's it going? Was that too loud?
A little bit
A little
for
too loud for you?
me. Yeah, because your ear's broken.
Yeah,
so.
my ear is broken. That's why I have the cans on.
Yeah.
I have an ear infection. So
Or something.
Congestion. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's better. It's better.
Lovely Rona.
So, yeah.
Is it still called Rona? What is it called now? The vid?
I don't know. The vid, Rona, whatever you guys want to call it.
The vid. I'm familiar with Rona. The vid, that's new.
So some
who
of
are
you,
these?
so
who
some
are
of
these
you
guests?
recognize that voice. Today on the show, we have Len
Hey.
from LensDigital.
What's up?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, guys? Awesome to be with you once again.
You too.
Yeah, you
we
too.
saw you a few weeks ago
Yeah.
at the conference.
right.
And I'm sure like anybody who didn't go is probably like, are they gonna
Right.
shut the
When
fuck
are they
up
to stop
about this
talking
conference?
about? Yeah, because we
I
did
know.
a pre.
Never. We're not going to stop talking
We
about
did.
it until the next one happens,
Right.
and then when the next one happens, we'll talk about that one.
Right. We did a pre.
Oh,
Pre
yeah, 'cause
one,
we had Tabitha
a
on the week
pre-conference,
before.
Then we did a live there. Well, we did a show
live.
there at the
Yeah.
conference. Then we did a wrap up from
right
it.
with Crystal.
Yeah.
And then
Now here we are still talking about it.
Hey, we technically didn't talk about it last week with the
Oh,
artists.
true.
so
We mentioned it, but
we
yeah,
gave them a break.
That's right. So you had one break, but now
It was done right, and he interviewed all the vendors, Mark and Will. They interviewed all the vendors before, so we got on the interview. Now our audio was horrible.
Oh my
So
God!
I don't know
so
if you should
bad.
watch it. It was disastrous, and I think we finally figured out why it was like that. But anyway, whatever. It's technical
You
reasons.
did? I still have no idea.
No, because you told me. Remember, because the USB thing was like 1.0 instead of
I just made it
3.0.
up, dude. I made it up.
That's how it is, too. See, I'm gullible enough to actually believe you. I bought it. Man.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, so they did that as as kind of like meet and greet the vendors before you actually
Right.
And the conference itself was really awesome.
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean that your table was hopping.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people, and I mean, so
we were so lucky. We were right next to the EN table, so we had a lot of that spill over as well. That was awesome.
Well, and then I mean, it gives people, especially your stuff, which gives me a perfect transition into the next thing I want to talk about. But seeing your stuff in person is not something you typically get to do before you purchase it. You see it all, people using it, on social media or on Facebook, whatever, your website and stuff. But actually getting to touch and feel it. I mean, he's seen all the videos for the grip and stuff, and he was like, I want a grip. I don't even know what I'm going to use it for, but I want a grip.
I know.
Even before seeing it in person, and then after seeing it in person, and I'm like, we're gonna.
Well, and then I've always wanted one of the vortex tables.
Yeah,
and seeing that.
Oh yeah, we brought that into
the curled up, cork. And then you turn it on, and it's like, oh, it was so
yes.
Yeah. I definitely want one of those.
We want one about everything.
We do. We really do.
We got you.
Yeah.
We got time.
Your sticker actually on my laptop now.
Oh.
It's part of the laptop
good.
flag.
And a little secret. We plan on hopefully like trying to make you guys like a little promo on my next round of cups. We're gonna make him record it and make a little promo.
I love it. Stop talking dirty. Stop talking dirty to me here. I love it.
The infomercial did really well, and Stan really liked it. So
we'll try to think of one up for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy because like if it's a product that's solving a problem, which the Pyburn, the Vortex, the Grip, they are all solving problems.
Right.
It's easy to make a corny infomercial out of it because you show like the other way to do it, and then you show their genius.
And you exaggerate the other one.
Yeah, and I mean, listen.
You're supposed to exaggerate. That's the point. That's the point. Like it's hilarious.
Yeah.
When you guys did it.
He was like, oh, we need the graphic at the end. And I was like, oh, hold on, I got you.
And I'm like, I need a lazy Susan so we can spin it. just
Too
like they do
funny.
on the it was pretty good.
It was so fun
Oh, that's good.
to record.
Yeah. Are you tired of endlessly joining jump rings? There's gotta be an easier way. Are your wrists aching after numerous orders? Introducing Keychain Thingies, the time-saving solution for anyone making keychains. It's so fast and easy. These revolutionary plastic thingies make large or multiple orders a snap. So easy, even a child can do it.
That was so easy.
So what are you waiting for? Go to keychainthingies.com and order now. Keychain Thingies will change your life. However, they should not be used to cure any medical ailments, repair broken relationships, or help lose weight. Do not use Keychain Thingies unless you want to save time and aggravation. Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
Speaking of all things laser, check out Houston Acrylic at houstonacrylic.com for reliable laser-tested and laser-approved materials.
Made for makers by makers, Houston Acrylic features over 450 styles of acrylic sheets. With over 50 new arrivals being released this month, Houston Acrylic is committed to bringing new and innovative styles to the laser community. My personal favorite is the matte, anything matte, and I feel it's perfect for everything.
Don't forget to save 10% by using our exclusive coupon code TRBP10 at checkout. Get inspired today and visit houstonacrylic.com.
Do it.
But I mean, so talking about the vortex table, I feel like it needs, we really need to make the video on the vortex table. And so I kind of have to like just buy one so that we can.
Well, so
because it's
we
like
can do a like all like just a whole promo on just them.
Yeah.
The Pyburn and the.
Well, because like the table is just, it's so cool.
It is.
And a lot of people don't know about it. We were kind of talking about it a little bit in the pre-show that wasn't recorded.
Right.
That, the Pyburn kind of outshines the vortex table.
For sure.
It's just, it's so awesome that it kind of, the vortex table isn't loud enough in the back.
So for those,
even though
it's loud. It's loud.
So for those who don't know what the vortex table is, explain it a little bit.
Yeah.
Len, you wanna talk a little bit about your table? Like,
Sure.
Tell them how you invented it. I mean, so there's a story behind it. Everything, like you said, Crystal and John, like it came from an actual need, like a problem, real problem,
and I think
that needed to be solved.
The first time you were here,
Right.
but let's remind them, and especially any of our new listeners, what the heck is this cool thing?
So the vortex table, basically, it's a vacuum table. This is the device that holds something flat while you're laser cutting it. And there are some vacuum tables that exist, like for CNC machines, but none of them have built-in suction fans. So that's the difference between our vortex table and other vacuum tables. So I mean, with vacuum table, usually you hook it up to like some kind of vacuum system or something. Now imagine if you're cutting something in a laser and all those fumes just gonna go like into your shop. This is gonna be like crazy.
Yeah.
The vortex table, what it does basically, it keeps everything inside the laser. So the laser exhaust takes care of it. It takes the fumes out. And the reason I created it because if you buy a Pyburn with magnetic feet, they have these cork pads. And basically I was cutting them from like this cork, which sells like in the rolls.
Yep.
So when you try to place it flat on the laser bat, it's
annoying.
It's impossible. Not just annoying. Like
that's what you guys saw at the show. That's exactly the thin cork.
Well, so it's
bad.
Veneer isn't quite as bad, but veneer because it's thin, it is harder to hold down. And what I realized is that I could use 16 magnets for a small piece that I'm cutting, but then I was cutting like wood stickers for one of my customers, one of my friends. And the problem was that, I can only put the magnets around the side, or I have to like cut it in like sections, which is more time.
Yeah.
And time is money. And so what happened was like some of her stickers were like they were engraved a little too much, and then some were engraved a little like not enough, because you don't notice that on 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch, because it's there's enough give that you don't see those small variances. But those small variances and an extremely thin piece of veneer, you notice that like it's really easy to notice it. And so it was kind of a pain, especially when I'm doing like a bulk order of them for her. I want to just put it in and like, put it all on there, and you can't get perfection that way because it's not perfectly flat. And that's literally using every magnet and hold down pin I had,
Yeah. Plus you're wasting material because, where the magnets are, you cannot cut.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And sometimes the laser, like nozzle, if it's too close, it just the magnet just jumps and ruins everything.
Yeah. Well, and then I loved the table. I was standing at your table once when someone walked up and you guys were, talking about it, because you walk up and you don't immediately understand what it is. It's not like,
exactly.
What's this? And you were explaining it, and she was like, oh, but you can't, but how does it work? You can't put this in the laser. And they're like, yeah, no, you put this in the laser, you put your material on top, and you cut it in your laser. Well, and I mean, it kind of makes sense because you're putting a machine inside of wait, what? Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I just watching the cork, it's awesome.
Seeing believing, seeing is believing. And like the thing about you mentioned like perfection, right? Like it bothers Len if it's not the right solution, like the ideal solution. It bothers him deeply. Like we could have probably used some clips and some magnets and this and that, and probably cut the cork. But that's not perfect, right? That's not Len. That's not
fun.
That's not right.
Not fun. It has to be fun.
He wants to use like every single freaking millimeter of the cork, and he wants it done right, and it has to be flat, and has to, and because it is going to the pipe or to production, it needs to be cut perfectly, right?
Yeah,
it can't.
Well, and I mean, unfortunately, I like when Len is annoyed, because when Len's annoyed, that means he's going to come up with something cool.
And he just goes, locks himself up in a room, and he's like, and then he goes away for a month, and he's like, Stan, I got it.
Be right back. Or be back in a minute. That's awesome. I love it. I mean,
in the new place, we have an R&D lab. Where,
fun. Do you have to get like clearance to go in that room?
Yeah, there's like an iris scanner, and
of course there is.
There's the lasers. Like if you enter incorrect password, they're just gonna blast you.
Totally.
It's like a trap door. It just and you fall down.
Listen, okay, so dream house, like on my bucket list, I want like a whole secret room with like the bookshelf, like
that opens up.
Like you pull a book out and the door pivots.
Oh yeah.
Or the ones that are like that you. I mean, that won't work if we stay in Florida, but the ones where you like literally open like a cabinet in your kitchen and there's like stairs.
Go down to the basement.
In your island.
And that's where the laser is? That's where the laser is?
Oh, see.
Or that's where the studio is. Something. That's where something is.
Yes.
I love it.
Happen sometime in my life, because we even priced it out for our current house. Like,
get out of here.
We were gonna turn
for her office.
So my office, it's kind of perfect for it. Because my office is literally right, like it's behind our TV in our living room. And it's an extra room. It used to be like a patio,
like a Florida room.
Yeah, so it was a patio, and it was then split into a bedroom and like what we use as the boys' playroom.
And your shipping station.
In my shipping station. I took over most of this house, unfortunately. But anyway, like if that door wasn't there, you wouldn't notice that something would be there. You would think probably that either our bedroom that's down the hall is back, it just goes through there, or that's outside. So like, again, if that wasn't there, although a bookshelf might look, we're not sure. A mirror or something, but like just whatever would make sense right next to the TV. We priced it out, but the hard part was that it does take, when it's open, if you're going to have it open most of the time, there's not a lot of clearance, so it would have kind of been tight.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, and then that room, because it was, a Florida room or a sunroom, it doesn't have like
AC.
vents and AC and all that.
Oh.
So it's a hot room already.
It
So
gets
that's
hot
why
in the
we
summer.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we priced it out and everything because it's
And then
legit on my list.
I've seen the ones that now have the, how they do the feature wall with the wood slats. They're like about an inch apart, and they take that negative space in the inch and make that like the door. So you push it and it like opens out. Those are pretty cool too.
I want it.
Yeah.
Speaking of
stop giving him ideas.
No, I want him to make.
I'm already planning. We have this bunker room actually behind my lab.
Oh my god, that thing!
There is they call it secure room. It's like a real bunker. It has no windows. It has like metal doors, security.
Yeah.
Panic room,
I don't know why they needed it. It's like a panic room.
Yeah.
It's all the walls are like
concrete, like this thick. Yeah.
Sounds like a future gun safe.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like.
We just use it to store crates right now. We just use it for like nothing.
Yeah.
There's some paint
Is that at the warehouse?
Some junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's in
see,
the warehouse part. Yeah.
come on, you gotta do the door. You gotta do a secret door.
Like
and it's right behind my lab, so I can actually cut the door through the closet.
No, that's where that you will not be able to get from. No way. There's no way. That's where the concrete is. That's where the concrete is. Yeah. You might have to go like up and around or through it somehow.
That's fine.
Just do it.
If anyone can figure it out,
he'll find a way. Yeah.
And I don't think you created this, but your robot at the office.
No, I didn't create it.
Did you see that video?
Yes, it's so cute. So Heather, the first time she went and visited them, she showed. I don't know if she posted it, but she showed me a video of their little robot. Astro.
Oh.
Yeah, he's cute. What does he do?
He's kind of like Amazon security robot.
He's Amazon on wheels.
Yeah, basically. It's like a security camera. You can program it to go anywhere, and it has like camera that just extends.
Like a periscope, goes up.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It kind of monitors your house if you wanted to.
But your son was playing with it and told him dance like a chicken or something like that?
Oh, yeah. It's basically like having like Amazon Alexa. Right?
Yeah.
On wheels.
But like it
so
has like
you can ask it any question and it has but it's got a big screen.
Yeah.
So like it eliminates so I have a 4-year-old. He was there today. Of course, the first thing he did is he discovered this robot. And then he was like, Astro, act like a chicken, and it does it like draws itself eyes.
It can follow you too. Like if you tell it to follow you, it's gonna follow you around.
Follows you around.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want one. When Len needs to make
they're for sale. I don't think they're for sale.
A laser security, some kind of
robot.
Something. Yeah. I'm just gonna think of all the things that you can make because I can't make them. So all of my crazy ideas, I'll just send them your way.
Let me get a pen and
Len. Just add them to your
yeah.
Asana. Just put them in your Asana.
Yeah. Put them on the app that Heather's so excited about. So how has it been? My best friend who ditched us last week. How has it been having Heather on? You guys have been expanding and adding more support and stuff. How is that going?
She's awesome. Yeah, she
oh my
helps
gosh,
us so
she's
much.
Awesome. I mean, we don't know how we live without her and like what we do without her. She doesn't just like so officially. Her official role is she heads up the affiliate program,
right?
And she also does our social media, social marketing. So she's on Instagram a lot, and like she really tidied up the whole channel and everything, and she made it just much more of a more
cohesive,
professional feel, cohesive feel. Because I was just throwing everything up there. It was stupid. Right. I didn't have any plan or anything. I know it was wrong. I just didn't have like the discipline or the time.
But I mean,
to do
something is better than nothing, at least
it.
initially. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying it's even more than that. Like besides the social and the affiliate program, which I really need her help on, and she's doing an amazing job for us. She also just like helps us think about the business.
Yeah.
On a higher level.
Yeah.
Because she understands the maker extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
She understands that business very well from the experience of Aeon, obviously, and
Right.
All she's doing over there. She kind of straddles both worlds. She understands the corporate world. She understands the maker's world. And she's just really, really, really good. She's just really, really good. Whenever we have an issue, we're like, can Heather deal with it?
Right. Help.
And she does. She just does.
Yeah. I've heard she keeps you guys in line a little bit.
A little bit. She tries. Whenever I do something, she goes, Stan is going rogue. Stan is going rogue again. Stan, control it. He's going rogue.
Yep. She'll tell me that sometimes about both you. It's mostly you. I don't hear that much about Len. Len doesn't seem to go rogue much, at least from Heather.
He's busy creating.
Right. And Danny with Eon, he goes rogue.
Danny.
Danny goes rogue. Like today, he leaked a photo of a new like Mira 9 stand that has like a ridiculous amount of drawers in it. And because like currently, I know, I mean, I love mine. So that might at least save us. But I don't know. It's black. So
that's your color. You need that
with red handles.
Does it have red?
We can arrange that.
I'm sure we can. Yeah.
But so if you know the current like standard Mira 9 table, they literally their purpose is to hold the laser and that's it. There's no drawers. You can some people like put them on backwards so that the back is towards the front, and then you can kind of like
you can put something
stuff underneath there, but then it's all open and whatever. So there's ways around it. But yeah, he leaked that today, and I like yelled at Heather, and she was like, "What? Danny went rogue? I don't know."
I'm telling you, these people, they just do whatever the heck they want. It's like it's their business or something,
right? Like it's theirs. Speaking of that, I saw a lot of people. I saw you guys helping a lot of people there at the at the conference. Like you said, having the 7 there next to you guys. I saw you guys doing a lot of back and forth, showing people like how it fits and this and that. Talk to us a little bit about like that interaction with your customers instead of just like via email or whatever you actually got to
messenger or comments. It's not the same.
So it's so valuable to have that connection, that like real face-to-face, person-to-person connection with your customer. Just from the practical things, like for instance, we had a couple of people. We had one person who approached us and he said, "Hey, I would never file a ticket or anything or complain or anywhere, but like, I know you guys are busy and all that, but like my pie burn doesn't fit in my Mira." We're like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, like it doesn't like go in the Mira. It's like there's a vent that's preventing me from it." And Len is like, and Len just flips the feet this way and it puts them on right, and he goes, "Oh shit, oh thanks." Just like things like that, right? Things like that. And there's so many people that came up to us with either a question or a comment or feedback or idea, and had that connection, and that's priceless. I mean, that's so if I could do more of that.
Somebody actually brought their pie burn for us to repair. That was
and we
fun.
fixed it right. We fixed it right there. So I think that's happened like 10 or 15 times or something where it was like a real thing, and they didn't bother us with a ticket or over didn't call us up.
Well, I had a couple people after some of my classes who literally walked their laptop over to me and were like, "Why isn't this working in Silhouette, or why, this or that?" And it's like, doing while it's possible, you can post in the group, then you hope I see it, or you send me a message, but like just for them to describe exactly what they're trying to do, usually they just send you a picture and I'm like, I don't really understand what you're asking, but just having that in person. And I mean, honestly, meeting you guys, because you guys are pretty cool and awesome, that transfers over into it too. I think I knew you guys already through Heather and Liz and all them before I even purchased mine. So I knew that you guys were like, good people, and I was in your group and I witnessed like just the interactions, business interactions with customers and fellow partners and stuff like that. And sure, seeing it in the groups and stuff is great, but like actually meeting you in person and seeing like, how that feels, it just, I guess, I don't know how many times I can say it's invaluable. Because,
it's so true. It's so true. And businesses struggle right now, really,
Right.
connect with our customers and to form that trust, that level of trust. And I find that extremely, extremely valuable. And if I could hang on to that for as long as humanly possible, I would. And it's encouraging to see that, like, Eon is, they're big and they're growing very quickly, and they still preserve that. They have that sense of community, sense of family. They reinforce it. They never let anybody down. Like, they'll bend over backwards if someone has a problem.
Right.
They will solve it. And Len is the same exact way. Like, he will lose sleep if someone has an issue or someone's not working. And it doesn't matter if it's the fiber or the laser, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just bothers us deeply if someone has an issue and we try to solve it. And I think the reason is because we're just like you. We're just like, we're just like the same. Like, we're makers, you know. We also have a laser, and we also make tumblers, and we also do stuff. And how would we want a company to treat us? And that's kind of what people feel, I think, from us. And that's what I really want to preserve for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, I actually had one of my first returns to my keychain thingies website. I think it was a month or two ago. And, you know, they weren't what she expected. You know, I typically say, you know, no returns, or if they are returns, they have to be returned, or, you know, you have to email me within so many days of delivery and all that. But in her, and not even like dissatisfaction with the product, they just, again, weren't what she expected. I realized that my own listings were lacking, and that's the reason they weren't what she expected, because I wasn't clear enough in my descriptions. And she actually pointed out issues that I agreed with. Like, they were the acrylic wristlets that I have. They're a lot smaller than you expect if you are used to the other wristlets, and because they're acrylic, they don't stretch. And so they're really small. And so I just kind of assumed, you know, nothing goes on my wrist, because I have big wrists, unlike my husband, who has
small wrists.
Very tiny wrists over there. And so I just kind of assumed that, like,
I'm learning things about you guys. This is awesome.
You can go around. And I have this, and I have small hands. Like, my hands are not the biggest, and I can still.
Have you ever seen that Burger King commercial with the small hands and the big sandwich?
I could almost do that.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try and embarrass myself like that. So nothing goes on my wrist. So I didn't even really think about it. I didn't think anything of it to, you know, make sure to put that in there of, like, you know, hey, heads up, these are on the smaller side. You know, you can still use it as like a handle for your keys, but it's not literally gonna fit on most wrists, you know? So but that to me, you know, I went out of my way to, you know, make sure, like, hey, please send them back to me. I'll definitely give you a refund. I don't want her to be, you know, unhappy. And while I would have, if I would have stuck to my guns, I would have been within my refund policy. That doesn't make me feel any better, you know. On the flip side, just a little, like, I guess, customer tidbit. It also depends on how you approach.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I unfortunately little.
You see, the sign says no refunds.
Yeah, exactly.
I can give you store credit.
I mean, that's kind of like the story, the real life money story.
Yeah, real life money.
Had she, which I don't know if you guys know, but so there was someone who purchased a lot of digital items from my shop and assumed
they were physical products.
That they were physical products. And she came in real hot at 7 a.m. and started immediately calling me a scam.
But it says in big letters, like, this is not
legit. And even better, she had to type YES, that she understands. Yes, these are digital products. And
you force her to type. Yes, I understand.
3 times.
Oh my gosh.
You're kidding me.
So, and even then, I will still give someone a pass if you come to me. What is it?
People put their initials.
Yes.
Instead of yes, they put their initials, thinking like you're going to engrave their initials onto it.
Well, so I actually had to change. I used to leave no character limit, right? Well, then what people were doing was leaving their, like, last names for, like, engraving.
Yeah, or whatever they wanted to be engraved. It's like,
and I mean, in their defense, Etsy makes it a personalization section. and we ended up using like their setting for something different. However, it tells you like you have to read like what it says, and then she read it enough to know that she needed to type yes, but didn't like
understand. She didn't internalize the fact that this is not.
And so, yeah,
this is not a physical thing.
She came in real hot at 7 a.m. and I was like, nope. I'm keeping this money. This is payment for the stress that you're giving me way too early in the morning. So what is it? You get more bees with honey or something like that. Yeah. Then what is the other side? But
it's something we think about a lot. Again, this is one of those things that customer service is extremely important to let it be.
Right.
Extremely important. Yeah. And this is like Heather also helps us out a lot with that sort of thing. And we're human, right? Yep. So if someone comes in really hot and like are being rude, you almost hard. Like you don't want to help. Like it's bad. Right. It sounds terrible.
You don't want to reward that behavior.
I mean, it's true.
It's like dealing with a child. You don't want to reward that behavior.
Because again, like you said, we're human, and then it's hard because like I get the other side too, is that I'm a little bit of a, I don't know that I'm a hothead, but when I'm frustrated, my patience and frustration, I don't have it. And so I can, usually, especially when I'm approaching, hopefully the if it's a vendor or a business or something, hopefully most times I can, like take a deep breath. Let me write this tomorrow when I've calmed down, that kind of things. And we kind of have to do the same thing. If someone comes in hot, like customer, like, okay, initially I'm going to get defensive. Let me walk away from this and come back in a couple hours kind of thing, or send it to someone else to respond. But, it's hard because you have to remember the other side too, is that, they could be a frustrated laser owner who has the pressure of orders that are due and this isn't working. And even if it is user error and you want to be like, oh, it's your fault, idiot, but you can't. It's not.
No,
right. You can think it. You can tell Len that. But
I tell Len it. So we.
I usually like Stan, you take care of it.
Whenever I just you can tell from the tone that someone is extremely bothered or upset.
Right.
And so, Mike Stevenson, our tech support, he's like our customer success engineer. We call him that. He's actually really quite good at that. Yeah. And so if someone's hot and bothered, he like makes it a challenge to handle it,
to diffuse it
professionally, diffuse it, and smoothly have it. And he's like, okay, I'll handle it. But sometimes Len and I just like, we don't reply. We're like, all right. And we just talk to ourselves. Could you believe this? He said what? He said this.
The audacity.
And like, should we let Mike do it? Yeah, let Mike do it. Okay.
Right. Well, and for him, it's good in that sense too, if you are able to outsource, because to him, it's not a personal attack.
It's
not
his
business.
It's so personal. It's
not his, his baby, like baby pie burn that he created, and it's not like your pride and joy. You know what I mean? So there's
he loves it. He loves it, but I know exactly what you mean.
Right. So it's just different when you have that separate side, or you just have the personality where you can 100% separate yourself from that, and take it the other way where it's a personal challenge to fix it and calm them down and have them happy at the end of the day. But
we talk a lot about it, and I also wonder, like, the portion of energy that we spend on the ones that are negative is not really reflective of the real math, because 99% of people are extremely nice.
Right.
99%. It's so small. Right. They do take a lot of your emotional energy, and you get pissed at, I guess I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Unproportionally. You give them unproportionally more energy.
Right.
But the overwhelming majority are just like amazing people. And
a lot of people very understanding. I mean, I make mistakes sometimes. I send the wrong thing, and I'm terrified when I find out, like, somebody.
I do that all the time.
We screwed something up. We just screwed something up recently. And the guy is like a prince. He's like, things happen, like, and Lena's like, oh, we're going to make it right. We sent him, a brand new rotary, with, like, more gummy bears.
Yeah.
More gummy bears. Yeah. But, we are human. We make mistakes.
Yep.
Like it happens.
Yeah.
You know, you sell 1,000 rotaries, one of them is gonna.
Well, and that's why not why, but that's one byproduct of actually the first conference was the first time I actually had to teach him how to fill and ship my orders for me while I was gone. Yep. And it was terrifying for me to not have that, to relinquish that control.
Oh, the control, yeah.
I had to answer to you if anything came back.
Oh my God. And how did you manage that, dude?
I was very careful with every listing, and it took me a lot.
Triple check.
It took me a lot longer to pull orders than it should have. I wanted to make sure I got it right.
Well, and then so now because of that, kids. But since then he continued to kind of pull them for me, and then I would QC them before they went out, and that was awesome because it was better. It was two people, because I didn't mess up. I maybe messed up like, I don't know, a couple times, maybe like once or twice, but it was enough that like having that comfort of two people touching the order before it went out, and like if two of us missed it, like, you know, what can you do? It just wasn't in the cards.
That feels a lot better, because you didn't see it either.
Yeah, there was one the other day, like our best sellers right now. One of our best sellers is the little baseball keychains, and they come with like a wooden bat. And it's so funny. People ask me if I use the rotary for the wooden bat, and it's literally like this.
No, it's small. Yeah, it's funny.
Right? I mean, when I get the grip, that would be pretty hilarious if I put that wooden bat on there.
You could do it. That's funny. You could do it on the grip. Yeah, you could do that on the grip.
I think somebody engraved chopstick. Remember?
Yeah.
Chopsticks.
Yeah.
I don't know about chopsticks, but they engraved the little bats, the miniature bats. Robert did that on his Thunder.
Yeah, no, but his are like still like this big.
They're kind of like, maybe.
I think they were more like, but these are like legit keychain size. Yeah. Basically like super fat toothpicks. Yeah. And so she had ordered like 28 of them. Well, 2 of them apparently like had some weird end. They weren't like a rounded bat, rounded bat.
They were
defective. Should have been. Yeah. And I was, it kind of sucked because, we missed them, and I had to eat the cost of sending her, 2 new ones, and she wasn't like ordering anytime soon or anything like that for me to toss them in another order. But it's like, I can't really be mad at him because I didn't see him either. I was surprised because they were so defective that I feel like I would have seen them. Now I would have seen it if she ordered like 5, I think. I hope. But because she ordered 28, I think it was kind of, I'm just counting like in sections of 5 usually. And so I
usually inspect the glove portion of it, because the glove seems to be like the more like delicate. Stitching. Yeah, it has stitching and stuff, just to make sure that's not defective.
Right.
Because like the baseball, as long as it looks like a baseball, and the bats look like a bat for that little end thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I usually look at the glove to make sure it's not like coming apart or whatever. And then remember the 2s, the extra strength thingies.
We had a huge defective.
I was packing those like not for customers. I was like packing them to sale.
It's for stock.
From the bulk pack. And I noticed, like, I just looked at it, and I usually do it like while watching TV,
right,
or listening to a podcast or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's almost like
mindless.
It's like mindless. You just you just count them and you put them in or whatever
on autopilot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I look down and I see that like there were certain defects. There was like 5 different defects. So I pulled, so now it's like, not only do I have to sort them and count them for packaging,
redo all.
I have to look through. I have to look through the bulk order to pull out the defective ones.
Yeah.
So 1, so it doesn't get to our customers, and 2, so that you can send it to the distributor and say, "Hey, listen,
let them know." Yeah, my supplier.
A third of our thingies we couldn't use.
Well, and
hopefully they send you like good ones.
Speaking of, when he found them, I think it was again the craziness before last conference, and he was separating them, I think, to prep for me to bring some, and I planned to message the supplier once I got back, and then just kept not getting around to it because for one, it's an awkward email to send, like, hey, fourth of or a third of my product that you sent was defective and whatever. And I had previous issues with like weight or like shortage. So I didn't want to be like, again, like, hey, me again, I have another problem. And so I had every intention of saying it and then didn't. And then I did another huge bulk order before this last conference. And I just mentioned it to them. And I literally said, I'm not asking for a refund because literally, I mean, my last order, or that was like, it was sometime last year. It's at least 6 months prior. And so I said, I'm not expecting a refund. I'm telling you way, way, way later than, I should have. I just never got around to it. I'm like, but while I'm reordering, I'm just letting you know, you're probably aware.
The last order was,
last order. And they're like, oh, tell us how many and we'll send you extra. And I was like, oh, great. Like, and I mean, that goes a long way too. And that I didn't expect it, but the fact that they did it, even though I was late in telling them,
that's good. I'm absolutely convinced in business, and in my prior life, I had a very, very different type of business. It was more software and data, but in any business that you run, it's just a numbers game. Like the more product you put out, the more likelihood of making some mistake,
right?
And it's just numbers, right? And the more you grow, then the more likelihood that's going to happen. Like you're gonna, no matter how good your company is, no matter how good your process is, and all that is great, invest in the process, make it as good. You're gonna hire people, right? You're gonna have to train them. They're gonna go through a learning process. So no matter how good that process is, and by all means optimize it, you're still gonna screw up eventually. And the only thing that matters is how you react,
how you handle it,
like how you handle that, right? So there like countless companies that will just say it's the customer's problem, and they will hide, and they will shift the blame, or just not really deal with it. And then there are companies that own it, completely own it. Hey, I screwed up, just like you said. Like, all right, how many were bad? I'm gonna I don't care that it was 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I'm just don't even worry about it. That is the company that you want to be. Customers know that in the long term you're going to win, even if you make mistakes. Like that's just not avoidable.
Right. Yeah. And I mean that all evens out in the wash as far as talking about the numbers game, because now you've turned this customer into a repeat customer because of how you handled the situation, and they're going to likely order more, and they're also likely going to tell a friend, tell a couple friends, tell a community member, when they're looking for something like, oh, hey, I once had this problem and they handled it like, amazingly. And it happens with word of mouth, because it takes that many more positive interactions to make a difference, because as we know, you're the loudest when you're unhappy with something. That's usually when you make a post at a restaurant. That's usually when you leave a review, is when you're unhappy. I mean,
sucks, doesn't it?
It sucks that it's like that, but it's just it's how it is. And those are the ones you remember. And see, I heard that, I saw that one person, or like, in the Glowforge groups, you'll see 5 posts about people who are unhappy, but the people who are happy aren't sitting there and posting every single day because,
they're working.
Right.
They're working. Their laser is like pumping out cash and they're busy.
But it'll even out in the end, and again, and if you make that more of an impact, it's more memorable, kind of like the negative ones, and it turns into the positive experience.
And depending on your business, if they're looking for something, a lot of chances are they'll look at you first to see, hey, does she carries keychain things? I'm looking for this keychain. I wonder if she carries it.
Right.
There's that brand loyalty.
Yeah, I have had people.
There's trust already established and built. They didn't let me down. They got my back. Like I already kind of know that.
I had someone do that the other day. They said, I can get this from someone else, but I was wondering if you had it, or if you plan to get it, or if it's something you want to carry. I don't even remember what it was, awesome. But it's huge, because it's like, with this, there are other people that they can choose. And if you don't give that, and that's not to say like give too much or give it to the ones who are a jerk and don't understand that you're a human. And, there's limits to the giving as well. And there are times that you do need to stick to your policies and all of that. But, it can make an impact that is great for your business, where they'll choose you over someone else. And sometimes, there's like my wristlets that I sell, I'm not the cheapest across the board. I might be cheaper than a couple, but like I price them as cheap as I can go for my personal costs.
Right.
And if that, hopefully I make that experience worth it, and that that you have a reliable, source and person behind that. But you don't have to be the cheapest either to get that loyalty.
Right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
And I mean, it pays for your time.
There's
it pays. It's easier to be awesome when you're actually like, you're compensating yourself well, because like it's so easy for me to charge even less for them and make like $1.50 on the wristlets. I totally could, but then it's like, well, is it worth my time? And now I'm working myself, which is it's a total newbie error. You don't feel confident enough to charge more for the prices, and you can do that temporarily to get the experience, and say you want to try a new product. I love when people, Heather used to call them sample sales. So she'd try a new product and she'd give it to them literally for cost, to make something. And then, they had to be patient in like the timeline, and this is the design I'm going to do, but I can personalize it with your name. And they pay for the product and they get a discount, but then you're not out all of that money, like just testing it over and over again for some random person that you're not familiar with, So there's ways to mitigate that even as a newbie. But yeah, you just racing to the bottom, you're gonna burn out a lot quicker.
Oh yeah.
I learned something really, really interesting. So when I just joined Len, this was over 2 years ago. He was selling.
Wait a minute. So it's only been a couple years
I've joined. I joined.
I think I knew that, but I'm still surprised.
So I joined fairly recently, but Len's been doing this since 2018. So he's been running the company by himself for a while.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when I joined, one of the first things I looked at is pricing.
Yeah.
Is pricing, because Len was, no offense, buddy, I love you. Len was basically charging people at cost.
Yeah.
Just a little bit over, enough to barely scrape by.
Right.
And at that point, he had
to run a business because you have like the overhead and all the
No, and dude, you also need to eat. Like you need to pay mortgage, and that's just like right. You have to pay rent and all of that. So the number one complaint about the pie burn back then, V1, it cost like $250. The number one complaint was that it's too expensive.
See, okay, so Will, who's like my
too fucking expensive at $250.
Yeah. So
it was like 300. Yeah.
Repeat that. Yeah. So Will, my unofficial like business coach, he gives me like advice all the time on business.
He's great.
He sent me a TikTok the other day about pricing, and we've covered this a little bit here and there, but you price a sign at $25, or this example was it was like a $500 project or something, right? And this person was like, oh, it was too slow, it was this, it was that. They were super nitpicky. They had like this paragraph of like what they expected, how they were disappointed, whatever, right? And then the $50,000 client says, money sent, thank you.
Unbelievable. That's totally right.
So true. It goes like fine, and believe me, pricing is really fucking hard. I understand it's really hard. But when you find that right price, you also find the right customers who understand, one, the value that goes into whatever your product is, and two, a lot of times when it costs more, those people care less. And not to knock on the people who have lower budgets, but they tend to have larger expectations than what their budget can afford. And so now you're trying to mitigate someone's unrealistic expectations with your product due to the pricing and the market that you're reaching. So, and I thought about it, and I was like, shit, like the customers that I've had, that were the best to work with were the ones who were several $100s and didn't fight me on anything. They gave me full creative freedom. They loved it. Like my ideas went insane because I had a budget that allowed me to like really be as creative as I wanted to, and not like, oh, if you had the money, I would do this, but since you only have this, now I have to like try and scale it down. And my brain doesn't like scaling it down. If I come up with this extra like amazing idea and now I can't use it because you can't afford it, then it's like my brain's like, it's fine, just do it anyway, because now you can show it off, and then now I'm not going to get the money for it or whatever. But it's a huge
there's a lot of psychology that goes into pricing. And the other really important thing to keep in mind is that oh yeah, that's his AI avatar, I bet. Which he dropped out. He probably passed out. But the one thing you need to keep in mind with pricing is that if the same product is priced different, the same product, same product, one is priced higher, one is priced lower. The customer values the more expensive one more. That's just a proven freaking fact. That's just the way psychology works, right? So if they pay more, that's why they're giving you the freedom to do more, because they're valuing your input more. Right. Versus the ones that don't want to pay that. It's cheap. They're actually valuing it a lot less. I mean, even so they will be nitpicky.
Well, and even saying that about the pie burn and however much it was 800 something that I spent on that. If honestly, just because I know me, if I would have only spent $250 on the pie burn, it would still be in the box.
You wouldn't touch it.
If the fact that it's 800 plus is the reason that I'm like, I really need to freaking use this thing because I spent this money on it and I need to use it and make my money back. And then I get the true experience of it, because it is instantly, as soon as I nailed down my settings, I was like, this thing is gold.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Also, when you pay less for a product, you kind of expect less quality. So you go in looking for defects,
just waiting,
and you don't try as hard. You don't put into as much. You might not read the manual as fully. Like it's just less effort on your part.
But if you pay
might
more,
not reach out to them because you're like, oh, it's cheap. I don't care.
You take the hit,
I guess.
But when you pay more, you look at it like, oh, here it is. Like, let me read it and this and that. And then it's hard to, as far as pricing, because I'm experiencing this now with, because mine is more time than anything else, really. When you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't seem like you're working.
It's even harder.
And there's that guilt of, how can I charge someone so much money?
Oh, that's true.
I feel like that's what Len was doing kind of because he made it to solve his problem. And he was like, oh,
I want to help
more
everybody.
People could benefit from this. And he's like, here, I'll just a little bit more than it costs. Here,
that was the reason, because the other like rotaries were like $800 on the market. So I thought, let me make a $300 one.
And yet people still got it. They're like, hey, pretty nice rotary, but why isn't it like 150? Like, I bet this motor is only $30. Like, well, I can just put this together myself. That was and people certainly say that now, but now that's obviously not how we price. There's a lot that goes into pricing. But for us, we always look at it from the customer perspective. John, you alluded to this, right? And Crystal, you too. Like, we look at this as the highest ROI investment you can freaking make with your laser. And as far as like some of the products out there, right? And what I've seen from business, this rotary is the highest ROI thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. Right? Yes, it's $850 for the roll. It's $1,100 for the grip. But one order, one sizable, nice, chunky order, and you're done. And the rest of it is just printing money. So we do for people
so
where it's
easy. Just like Heather doesn't make stuff anymore, and she loves tumblers, like, because they're so easy. Obviously there's times where it's like a little bit difficult. The circle like logos or circle graphics, you might have to like make some adjustments and that kind of stuff, right?
For sure.
But like and I had to, I finally got it out of the box. box, and because I don't have,
I know it was a while. Yeah, I had to bother you. I remember I had to annoy you for a little bit.
You had to annoy me, and then I finally did, and then I had trouble with my settings. Like all of my friends' settings on similar machines was not producing the same result for me. And the perfectionist in me was like seeing some little imperfections that my customer never would have seen, but I did, and so it bothered me. And so I had to dial in, my settings and actually use like just, I think my LPI I think is higher than most, or like, and then I'm a little bit stronger or slower. I don't remember.
Every machine is a little different, just tiny bit. There's tolerances.
Right. Yeah. And so while it took me a little bit longer to dial in my settings and stuff, but like now it's just, I really can't wait to make more. Like a Tumblr order, I'm not sad about them at all, so, and I mean, amazing. And people who buy tumblers, they're not like I already have a tumbler, I don't need one. People who buy tumblers hoard tumblers. They collect tumblers. So like,
I want a different color, I want a different design. Now my friend wants a tumbler and she likes this sort of show.
Or like you were saying, the pie burn and the ROI to the business. Tumblers are also ROIs to some businesses because they give it away as gifts for return customers. So on those, depending, you might not charge, Crystal as much as you would charge LensDigital, because they're going to use it for promotion and they're going to make money off of those tumblers. So that goes into like how you're saying you price things differently. If a company orders 5 and an individual orders 5, you can probably charge the company more for those 5 because and they're going to look at it as, they're not going to look at it as an expense. They're going to look at it as an investment.
As an investment, as a marketing investment.
As a marketing investment, right?
Absolutely.
So
well, and I mean,
you make a really good point.
The designs are smaller, so the designs are typically easier. They need to be simpler because they're single color, so you can't go too crazy on a tumbler unless you full wraps and that kind of stuff, obviously. But then again, that is another thing that's like full wraps. They actually turn something that's generally pretty quick into something that's a lot longer, because they can take like about an hour to do a full wrap.
40 minutes.
But the people who want the full wrap designs don't care about paying for the cost of a full wrap.
Have you seen some of these prices that the Stanleys are fetching right now? It's kind of crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy.
That's the insane. I'm not drinking the Stanley.
I don't get that that much. I love tumblers. I have a whole bunch. Same. But that much to pay like $300 for a cup. No. I mean, it's still a cup. It's nice, but
it's a cup.
But people do it. But people do it, and they go crazy over it.
Yeah. And I mean, again, if you can jump on that trend while it lasts, like by all means, like if you're slinging Stanleys, keep doing it, because I'm pretty sure it's paying your mortgage.
I thought it'd be over by now. I thought it was a fad that's gonna. But it's still
just like NFTs.
I don't know. It's still going, and there's still these groups. I'm on them, and people like go crazy over them.
But like, I mean, a blank cup will cost you anywhere from a couple dollars to maybe, some of them are like 10, it's generally, anywhere from like $3 to $10. And then, the design is quick. The actual engraving, I think my normal engrave time for my average, I'd say, is like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. And then you go wash it, which is another 5 minutes. And then you're done. And now you just made 25. And a lot of times people buy several. They're like, they either buy one and then they see how awesome it is and buy a few more, or they're like, oh, I want to buy one for all of the teachers. They're amazing gifts. I made one for my son's teacher for I think Christmas. Yeah, Christmas. And I didn't know it, but she was newly married. And so it was the first thing that she had in her new married last name. And so she was like, she was even more excited. Nice. Obviously I didn't know that going into it. I'm just giving her a cup that's like easy for me, And then there's no glue, there's no painting, there's no sanding, there's no, assembly.
It's easy. So there's 2 big markets that our customers go after. 2 big markets. One, John, you talked about this, right? It's like the biggest need of small businesses right now is to connect with our customers.
Right.
Mhm.
So tumblers are an amazing way to connect with our customers because they, you give away a tumbler or, you sell a tumbler at your store or whatever, and they literally bring your logo this close to their face. Like this is as much intimacy. I've made this point a lot of times, but you're interacting with the logo in an extremely intimate way, which is it's a strong emotional connection with the customer.
Yeah.
So businesses are buying them up, and like by the thousands, and it's not slowing down, by the thousands. These orders are in the thousands. Like there's a hospital system that ordered 5,000 tumblers from a customer just now. 5,000 tumblers. It's like 3 different hospitals between them. And the other market is just like individuals, Etsy. It's people that are smaller, they're micro orders, but
weddings,
there's this
huge,
weddings.
yeah,
exactly.
bridal parties
And
are
there's this
amazing
personalization trend. They want their
mm-hmm.
bridesmaids and stuff. They want their names on it because it gives them that special feeling, right? The personalization feeling. And that is a huge, huge market too.
Right.
Massive. So when people are like, oh, you're selling so many fibers, is it going to get concentrated? Is it crowded? I'm not seeing that.
Right.
Nope.
Restaurants, yeah, we just went. Remember the other day we went to a restaurant and they have these special cups they would give you. There's no engraving, nothing on it. It's such an opportunity. You just engrave one, bring it to them.
Right.
Every single restaurant. I mean, every single small business. Like, if you have a shop, why aren't you selling tumblers to supplement your revenue stream? With your logo, like you're building brand loyalty at the same time you're supplementing your revenue stream. It's like
Well, and they're not going to forget that. Like, John and I plan to hopefully soon, beef up more of the actual product side of our business, if not permanently, but at least temporarily for some extra cash flow while we're in like the transition phase with our business and everything. And one of the things we do plan to do is either make something with our logo on it or their logo on it or both. So that, it has their logo on it. I stole it from Facebook or, their website or wherever, put it on the cup, put ours on the back because it's free. I'm going to hand it to you and be like, hey, do you need tumblers? I also make these things.
Nice.
If you think of anything and you need us to make it, here you go, enjoy. Now, that's always something that we can lean on to get that extra business coming in. And like you were watching, you were looking into it was like kind of like business coaching
for videographers.
And so one thing that he said that goes into any business, it was on
we have a guest.
Hello. What's our guest name? Let's introduce our guest.
This is Fluffington.
Hello, Fluffington.
Yeah, looks like a Fluffington.
Yeah, right. The name fits. So he was saying, if you do what was it, five people?
Five. Reach out to 5 businesses for 5
like
days a week. Yeah, it turns out it goes out. It's like 5-5-5 rule, and basically you're generating leads and you're reaching out to 100 people a month.
It's like 100 people in a month. And not 100 people typically aren't going to say no.
Right. It's like you said, it's the number.
There's a conversion ratio. There's a percentage of people that are going to say yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and maybe you don't make 100 tumblers, but at the same time, 100 keychains, make 100 keychains out of scrap with their logo and your logo. And you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, the numbers.
So I just love that formulaic approach. It's just numbers game. If you put in the work, it's gonna freaking happen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, right? Like it's very empowering. It's empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said it's never on our timeline. That's the hard part.
Yeah,
is that true. You have to be consistent. You can't do it once and be like, I talked to 5 businesses for 5 days. I didn't get one order. I quit. You gotta keep going, which is the hard part. That the consistency part is difficult. But yeah, if you keep at it, it may not happen at the speed you want it, but it will catch up.
Absolutely true. Absolutely.
So if you're watching this and listening to our podcast, expect the next coming month to be inundated with Riley Black creations and Riley
Just
Black
all
media
of it.
and all
Riley Black designs.
Bring it.
My course is coming.
Because
he's going to be doing his services. We're going to be slanging tumblers left and right.
There's we've alluded to. We've alluded to moves in the background on our life update. There it is. Yeah.
Ooh, I want one too.
You don't have one?
I think I got one.
We're gonna change that.
When we bought our shirts.
I have a T-shirt, yeah, but not.
So I think we got them when we bought our shirts. I think you threw a bunch of in.
Yeah,
probably.
no,
those cups. Oh my god, I love those cups you have there.
Oh, these.
So this was actually
gypsy fence.
So, and again, this like use the makers if they make something different than you, or like they, I mean, anyone. If I needed anything wood, I'm gonna outsource it because I don't do wood. But she does epoxy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she made these for him, and when I wanted custom cups for our studio, and I knew exactly who to reach out to, and she killed it.
When we needed some
hats. And you got the colors right.
We got we got hats from Laser Llama.
And these are gonna.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, we have a three different hats that are gonna be
funny,
on the site soon.
So this is
awesome.
This was the original design.
That.
But then I wore this is the Riley Black Media one, and then I wore it on the show and realized that where I sit, the patch.
You
can't see
so
it.
we had her make us another one
with the patch
on the right side. So
nice. Mirror image.
Yeah.
Because there's different sizes.
Yeah. So if you have a big head and you're on the fence with Laser Llama, she has that spells.
Yeah.
They work great.
Wait, those two logos next to each other.
Oh, bother you?
Yeah.
Okay.
My OCD is happier. All right.
Don't mess with their stuff. Don't mess with their stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, even we go to other makers for for like our stuff.
Yep.
I mean, it's a community. It's a community for a reason.
I outsource my inappropriate boards because it's not something I can make. I drew the design, but I don't have a CNC. I don't know how to make super quality cutting boards. So I went to my favorite, cutting board and wood supplier ever, Lasered by the Creek, but you can't order them from them. Okay, you have to get them from them. They're my supply. But anyway, I don't want to keep them like secret just because they're so awesome. That's the reason I reached out to them to be my wholesaler to me, but because we can't do everything and we don't have to because, we can get really good at a couple things and then lean on the friends who are really good at things that are different.
That's why this maker community is so freaking awesome. Like we get these hats from Maureen, one of our customers. I have a whole bunch of tumblers that we could probably do, just not as nice as some of our customers do them. So I got like a Yeti tumbler from my wife, or a Tesla tumbler from one of our customers. And I mean, we do that all the time. Just to we're part of this community, you know what I mean? And we're all someone's good at this, someone's good at that. It's just really, really nice to be able to take advantage of that network.
So what do you guys have anything new coming out? I mean, the newest thing was the clamp. The what is it?
The mega clamp.
Mega clamp, yeah.
So what is what's that for?
I think we already sold like a bunch of them. They all just
funny.
went
Like
the
I
first
get
day.
it because I'm the same way. But every time you guys release a new product, you're always like, "Oh, we're shocked at the demand. We're so surprised."
I mean, but in this case, there was a lot.
Broke the internet with the grip. And they're like, "Oh, we're so shocked." And then they release something else, and we're like, "Oh, we're so shocked that people wanted this." Like you got
people want it. People want stuff.
There's so much brand loyalty to you guys as well.
Right.
That
we're
you
so grateful for that.
Put out like people. I saw
so grateful for
in the comments saying, "Do I need this because I'm going to buy it?" They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what it was for. They didn't even know if there was really a business need for them, and they were ready to go buy it. I mean, one, FOMO was probably part of it because I 100% understand. But like that's the awesome thing about you guys is that literally you could put out like a powder coated, poop statue, and people would write, "Oh, the new thing from LensDigital."
They're like the make. They're like
poop statue, right?
Len, I'll buy one. Come on.
Oh no, I know. So we're so grateful for that. I mean, that is an incredible feeling. That's like an incredible feeling.
Poop statue up there.
Where people
Right
trust
there.
us so much that they're like, should I buy this?
Right.
And but we want to keep that trust. So we're like, hey,
Right.
Yes,
yes, this is the right fit. No, it's not.
This is what you should consider.
Yeah.
Are you doing baseball bats? Are you doing wine bottles? Are you doing anything or like?
So it's like
anything at all where. So when a clamp, you know how we have the single wheel clamp that arm that basically creates more friction between your object and the motor wheels.
Right.
That's really, really important on a roller rotary because you want as much friction as possible. That's all you've got going for you on a roller is friction. So if those wheels don't turn, you're going to get slipping and you're going to ruin the design. That's why we have the clamp. But some objects, you can't literally insert a clamp inside a bat.
Right.
There are some objects that just won't take that clamp. The clamp will not work. So in some cases, you can actually engrave without the clamp. So you get a little bit less friction, but you can still get by.
If it's kind of like a round
it's
uniform object,
like Len wants it perfect. It's like, but Len, you've got Len,
right?
So he's like, no, I will solve this problem. So instead of the clamp going inside the object and pressing down from inside, this mega clamp can rise up, can prop up, and it's got two wheels. And just imagine it pushing down on the object from the top, not from within. So increase the pressure. In fact, we've heard people that are doing scoring for the first time ever on a roller. I don't know if it's not confirmed, but it builds so much pressure that it's so tight.
I didn't realize that until the grip came out and Kathy was saying, now I can do that. I could do score. She's like, I'm going to do scored tumbler designs. And I was like,
she does.
I never even considered doing it on the tumbler. And then for two, even if I would have never considered that it wouldn't work well. I didn't know that because I hadn't seen anybody else do it. So it didn't really cross my mind. And because usually when you use scoring, a lot of times it's either to add detail, not something that typically happens with tumblers, or to save time. The tumblers that I'm doing are so quick anyway. Again, it never crossed my mind to use scoring on a so I mean that's awesome. I didn't know,
And she posted a bunch of videos in Pyburn Labs, and the scoring technique is kind of really, really cool for delicate designs. So you never want to try it on a roller because the object moves back and forth as the laser literally draws on the object. You can't take that motion because no matter how much friction, it's just the friction is not enough.
Right.
But on a chuck rotary, you're golden.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons why we wanted to invent the chuck. Len wanted to invent the chuck, or the grip, I should say, is to eliminate any slipping whatsoever. So that people have that, confidence and peace of mind. You can do full wraps without it ever slipping. You can do stuff with very heavy handles and it won't slip. And you can also do the scoring technique. On things like Christmas ornaments, for instance, right? You need the nice, delicate designs.
Yeah.
And the scoring thing, I didn't even think about it until Kathy did it.
Yeah, Kathy did
do that.
I was like, oh, wow, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that.
Oh, she's awesome.
Tester or problem finder. It's like our brains don't even work like Kathy's. It's so funny. She was like,
different level.
She's like, I didn't even know that. Or God, what did she say on the live yesterday with Will? She said something about like, I don't know everything or something like that. And we're like, you pretty much do. Like, if Kathy doesn't know it, like, pretty much no one knows it. And if she doesn't know it, she always knows exactly where to find her answer or who to ask or what forum to go look at. Like, she's a genius.
She is absolutely awesome. She beta tested the grip for us.
Yeah,
she was one of the original beta testers.
She's a perfect tester. I've taken so much.
We listen to everything that she says.
When she ordered from my website, I was a little scared. I was like, if anybody's gonna find a problem with my product, it's gonna be Kathy. Like, shit. Don't test it too far. It's just a keychain.
She'll deliver the feedback to you softly. Like, she'll bring you down.
There was a product actually
She's
we
not
never
released.
Like, this
is kind of shit. She'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a product we never released. We sent it to her, and she tested it, and she was like, doesn't work right. Okay, we're not gonna release it.
That thing's dead. That thing's dead. But you know, he's
Kathy
talking
says,
about.
you listen.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So we've been trying to solve the rolling pin problem for a very long time.
Oh, right.
Emily wanted it first, like 2
Mhm.
years ago. And the rolling pins where you have the handles come off, they work fine, no problem.
Right.
But there are rolling pins that you can't remove
Right.
the handle. They just don't.
Yeah.
The handles don't come off.
Or
So
they're
that
part
problem-
of it, or
They're just a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just and then you've got to figure it out. And we've been working on that for a long time. So what he's talking about is this adapter for the pie burn that does the rolling pins that we sent to Kathy, and she was like, "This is shit." not in those words, but
nice Kathy words.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in this case and it doesn't work in that case. And have you thought of this? Have you thought of that?
Oh my
and
God.
then you have to like redesign them, right?
Right.
But we finally have an answer for it that's scalable and that actually works. Yeah. So with the grip, we're going to come out with long extended fingers that just hold the rolling pin, and then you've got the back wheels for the support, and the problem goes away. Yeah. So that works awesome, actually. And I think that's probably going to be the only I don't know, maybe not. Yeah. Actually, no. You know where you can do that on? You can do that on the Aeon Smart Roller.
Oh,
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it does.
Those hot dog rollers are really good for rolling pins.
For hot dog rollers, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, it's funny that you say that too, though, because sometimes you can over-engineer something as well. You can overthink it and be like, "Oh, I need clamps from every angle to like make sure that it's good." And it's like, or you could put it on a hot dog roller.
You put it on a hot dog roller.
Or we can make an adapter for pie burn to make it a hot dog roller.
Right.
Right.
Hot dogs on Tuesday, on Friday. And just
it's not perfect though. The hot dog roller, you'll have a little bit of travel. You'll have a little bit of walk, which you don't happen to have on the grip. So if you're doing a full wrap, imagine now you're doing a full wrap on the rolling pin. Some people actually do that, a full wrap on the rolling pin.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
and they do
before.
a deep engrave, and they do a very deep engrave, so it's like textured. And so when you roll the rolling pin on dough, it comes out with like really cool designs.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're gonna do that, you need something better.
Right. You need precision.
You need more precision, right?
Nice. That's exciting. Bring all the things. I can't afford them all at once, but bring them all.
And don't forget the poop statue.
The poop statue.
Yeah, because the one I have up here, it leaves something to be desired. So,
we'll make a better one.
A LensDigital.
I absolutely am in love with the way your studio looks. You guys
crushed
it. It's so good.
So proud of it. Yeah.
Thanks.
It turned out, because like a lot of times in my head, I think of this idea and I have this picture of how I want it to look. And I told you, how many times did I tell you I was so scared it was going to look like pure shit.
Well,
and we were going to spend all this money. And like, because we didn't have like a huge budget for it either. I mean, this whole thing cost us about $7.
Yeah, after
the
everything.
Whole room, including like the wall.
No, that's not bad. That's great.
It's like $7,000.
Yeah.
And that includes this table that was a very, very big portion of it because I really
the table. I think the table was almost as much as the entire room.
That thing looks solid though.
It's amazing.
It is, and it literally is solid. Like it's
good. Well, and when we got it, I'm like, if this podcast thing doesn't work out, we have a really badass nice dining room table. Well, like I had this picture in my head of like how I wanted it all to look, and I was so scared that like it wasn't that the two weren't going to meet. Or not going to meet within our budget. Because I can accomplish anything if the budget is unlimited, but it wasn't. It was to the point where I was like, can I afford like this set of candles? And can I afford this like, custom little pouring cup? And like, it just kind of, it all goes together. And like these panels, they're pretty pricey, but they're not when you think about it, because like I think it was a 12-pack of them for like $100, $90. So it's a lot. If you're doing a whole room or a whole wall, it's gonna add up. But when we're just doing it as like a
the backdrop,
$100 for like this awesome looking back, it was totally worth it. So I'm pretty proud.
And I mean the studio ended up being like, we didn't think it was gonna be like this part of the garage.
Yeah.
So like the contractors came in, they're like, okay,
Are you guys in a garage? What?
Yeah.
No way.
We're in
Yeah.
half of our garage. Yeah. So
literally our like I'm looking at our dryer that has laundry on top of it.
That is crazy.
Once
Don't give away your secret. It looks like you're in a freaking like.
I'll spin the
Just wait
camera
until we
around
spin it around and you see the
after we finish recording.
behind this camera.
Yeah. Oh,
Just make sure you shut off the record button.
This is where all the magic is. Back there.
We should do it
not
behind
so
the
much
scenes for our patrons.
No,
different world. Different
For our
world.
patrons, our paid members.
Yes.
They deserve to see the madness that goes on.
Oh, there you go. Good. Oh, that's a great idea. Someone's got a business mind over here for sure.
Right? Of course. You got to give the little carrots. And if you're not yet a patron, if you sign up,
if you want to see what the studio really looks like,
a free behind the scenes as your free gift for signing up. This would be a good time to mention too I'm also an affiliate because I love them so much. And you can get $50 off if you're thinking about,
So if you guys find out about the Pyburn, anyone listening on the Riley Black project, put in the code. What is it? Riley Black, right?
Riley Black. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You'll get a $50 off. And you're also crediting the guys here for doing an amazing job and, kind of introducing you to the tools that we do. And we're very appreciative to give them the rightful credit. It's fair.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We literally love you guys. It's lack of time of why I haven't made a million amazing tumblers, but I have every plan and desire to. It's going to be one of the main things that we make with Riley Black Creations. So
that's amazing. You guys are going to be flying. You guys are going to be absolutely flying.
Hope so. From your lips to whoever's listening.
Right. All right. Anything else before we go?
No, that's it, dude. We love hanging out with you. Thank you so much for having us on.
Same, it was great.
This is the second time we're on. The first time was just audio, and this is like, I feel like this is cool. It's like the next level.
We're hoping maybe this time we can have you guys in person, but I feel like next time.
Oh my god, that's the progression.
Table and
audio, video, and then in person.
And then in person, and then the time after that, you come visit our shop.
We could do a remote one.
Ooh,
for sure.
No, not remotely. Fly out to New Jersey.
I know, but we will be remote like we were.
Like a remote podcast.
Like we did for the conference.
Yeah,
for sure.
And bring your table.
You can advise us on the table and the studio and all that.
We can't bring the table.
No, but we'll go into your secret layer that you will have created by then.
We'll do it from the bunker.
I love it.
Well, guys, thanks for spending some time with us and talking with us. And again, so it's LensDigital, right? .com or where can people find you?
LensDigital.com.
That's it. Also, we have a really, really cool Facebook group.
I was just going to mention
Pyburn Labs. Which definitely, I think that's really, really helpful for anyone just even considering.
I recommend that there was someone who asked me, she had a Pyburn and she was asking me something about, the adjustment for circle graphics. And I know that you usually need to, but I personally haven't had to yet just because of, the designs that have come across my computer and laser. And, it's like, I'm not the expert by any means, but you go post this in the Pyburn group. And if it's not Len and Stan, who are usually on top of it, the customers are amazing at suggestions and things that's helped them and it's one of my favorite groups for sure. And listen, I hoard Facebook groups, so that means a lot.
From you, that means a lot. No, we really, really appreciate that. We're super proud and like kind of also shocked and surprised of how good these people are, how good the community turned out. Just really grateful for that.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, you guys. We absolutely love you too. Thank you for doing what you're doing. It's so important.
Thank
you. So important.
It's kind of like, I was picking at you. I was making fun of you, and you're shocked that things sell well, and we're shocked that people listen to us every week.
Episode 110.
Holy crap!
Oh wow!
Just
110. Congratulations!
And I haven't even checked our download numbers. It was like
110 weeks.
We hit 300,000,
Wow.
not 300,000, 30. Calm down, Crystal. We hit 30,000 audio downloads.
Yeah, that was
and I haven't
little
checked
while
it
ago
since then.
Yeah. Well, because we're really looking at those YouTube numbers grow.
Speaking of, subscribe. We're like 187 away from 1,000. So,
let's go.
And then watch. Watch. We get monetized.
Yes.
Well, again, thank you guys for spending time, and for those of you, stay tuned for our life update.
All right.
And welcome back to the life update.
What's it?
What's going on?
It's fun as always.
It was fun. Yeah. They're awesome guys.
They're so easy to talk to. You could literally talk to them.
I don't even think we really had going into it. We didn't really.
I was worried. I was a little scared because I was like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
We didn't want to talk about the
they
conference
didn't really have
too
anything.
long.
Yeah, we didn't want to drag that on for forever. But it was a really good one. There's a lot of good little business nuggets in there. Yeah.
So we're gonna make this one quick because we got a long day tomorrow.
We do. And we can't tell you why.
Yeah. We got a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Just be prepared to be inundated with Riley Black posts.
Send us all of your
good vibes.
Your good vibes.
Yeah. Well, you can still send it at this point when this comes out. You can still send it. We could always use good vibes.
We could literally. Let's see. Did we talk about? Was it? I don't know if we talked about how. No, we might have how the pink eye flooding, COVID, all that. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah. So he's
and it continues because now I had I don't know if it's an ear infection or just it feels like my ear didn't pop from the congestion, from the pressure, and it hurts and it's sore. It could be from me massaging it to try to get it to drain.
Right.
But I got a nasal spray and I got some stuff.
Yeah.
To look at it.
Feeling a little bit better than you did this morning, at least. Hopefully.
Yeah. And then JR's had a rough couple of days. We kind of spoke about it with Stan and Len, but he just woke up and his stomach has been messed up too. So this is
going to be TMI, but I kind of have to share because it's just how our life goes.
I just said his stomach was upset.
He had an early morning appointment. We went to the appointment. We got done in enough time to still take him to school. Which as a parent, you'll understand that was kind of a win. It was like, okay, he doesn't have to stay home all day. We pull up to the school.
It's funny.
He gets out of the seat and he goes, "Whoop.
I pooped my pants." And luckily,
John had gotten unbuckled, was halfway out the car.
And, I mean, we kind of unbuckled at the same time.
Oh my god!
But his face was closed. Like, oh.
It was his first.
I pooped my pants.
It was his first experience of doing that, and he did it. Yeah. And we're like, "Did you?" And he was like, "No, I didn't."
He did.
I just farted, and I was like,
"He did."
I'm not sending you to school because he was scared of getting in trouble.
Right.
And so then I was like, no. And then
the first night
we got home and he gets out of the car. Thankfully.
Yeah, the little street.
Thankfully the school is not far from home. No, But he got out of the car and I was like,
and then we were like, well, we don't want that to happen in school during class. So we kept him home.
Yeah.
And then the first night he, I guess he's embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because he didn't make it to the bathroom. And he called me over, and as soon as I walk in, he starts crying. I'm like, "Why are you crying?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Because I made a mess." And I'm like, "But it's not your fault.
It's
an accident. Your stomach isn't. It's fine. Listen, we can wash this. This is not. We don't have to throw it away. And even if we did, it's an accident.
Yeah,
calm down. There's no reason to cry." But he just felt. Yeah. I guess maybe embarrassed or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's 5. He doesn't really have.
Yeah. He doesn't understand that it's an accident. And he can't control it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been fun so far.
But enough poop. There's been a lot of poop talk on this episode, unfortunately.
Welcome to poop talk.
I am so sorry. But YouTube, for one, subscribe to that if you haven't already. We are 187.
Checking the official number. At the time of this recording, we are at 814.
Ooh, so 186.
We at 814.
Woohoo!
814 subscribers.
186 away from one Kai.
She's from Australia now. And then we need another 3,000 watch hours.
Yes. I mean,
be
I was
monetized.
excited that we hit 1K watch hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. And it's only going to go up from there once we have more people subscribing. And more people
and it's funny
to watch.
at the more conference talk, but at the conference, you know, I was talking with someone and you know, we were talking because they have a YouTube channel as well. And we were talking numbers and they were surprised that we weren't there yet.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm pretty surprised too. But I mean, I get it. It's not, you know, people watch, but they don't subscribe. Because I mean, it's, you know.
Yeah. So if you're one of those watchers,
subscribe. Hit the subscribe. Just look to see if you're subscribed.
Subscribe.
And if you are,
our
thank you. And if you're not, smash that button.
One of our friends, one of our patrons, she's like, oh, but she's like, I think I'm already subscribed, but I don't think I'm subscribed from my business account.
No, there you go. So if you have a business account, subscribe from that one too.
Accounts, you know, just
subscribe from them both. If you have 3 accounts, get your kids' accounts, your husband's account, your wife's account, everyone, just everyone follow.
And then the other thing, keychain thingies, man, it's growing
it's
fast.
Going crazy.
The baseballs and softballs are selling like hotcakes. They are so great for teams, for gifts for the teams. As you know, sports fanatics, Father's Day, order one of them and order the little extra bats and have a bat for each kid. You know, and it's not like it's not another cutting board for dad who doesn't want to use a cutting board, or I don't know that he actually wants a keychain either, but they're cute. I mean, they're nice. And so those are going crazy. We have another restock of those coming soon. And in that restock is a ton of, I went nuts. I did some 1 a.m. scrolling.
What else did you get? Did you end up getting the colors? Because there were different colors, right?
No, I didn't end up getting the colors. I did a post and there wasn't like a lot of interest in them, which I'm glad for, because, you know, anybody who has a website and there's a lot of options, that's another space that I need to put in the house, another space on the website. That's another variation that I gotta add. It's another thing to order. So I was kind of happy that they didn't really want them, and now they are available. Like if you have a team and their colors are like red, orange, yellow, green. There's no blue. Basically those colors. Oh, white. So if you have a team that those colors work, I can custom order them for you, but I don't know that I'm going to add them to the website yet. Right. Now, if I have the space and keeping, 30 of them on hand makes sense, by all means, then I'll have 30 for that one team who needs them. Just not yet, not right now, until, we have more space or more organization to keep all of that. But yeah, there's a lot of new ones coming. There's some funny ones. There's some that look like duck and monster slippers.
Oh, you got those?
I'm so excited for those. They're so cute. I'm sorry. Those I put up a post, and mind you, I'd been thinking about them for a couple months. I forgot about them and then was scrolling through previous saves. Again. And I was like, oh, I really want these. And again, when I was looking at them before, my business account was a little sad, little lower than I wanted it to be at the time. So it was like, I can't buy these right now. It doesn't make sense. Well, thankfully, my account is not nearly as sad anymore right now. And I was like, and I put a post up in our Laser Me This group, and I was like, should I get these? I was like, tell me not to get these because I want these. And
everyone told you to get them.
And well, one person, Stephanie, one of our previous guests, told me, she's like, you totally need to get those. Those are adorable. And I was like, thank you for enabling me. And she was like, and then she read the posting and she was like, oh crap, I was supposed to talk you out of them. Yeah. And then someone else commented, and she actually, Ashley White, she commented and she was like, they're really cute, but don't do it. And then I lasted 5 or 10 minutes more.
And then you did it.
And one more person said those are really cute. And that was all I needed. That's and it. I went and bought them. Now I didn't buy many of them. I think I only bought I had to buy an even number because they're slippers.
Oh, right.
So just in case someone wants two matching slippers, it's going to drive me crazy when people buy just one probably. But anyway, so I got them in even numbers. I think I only got 4 of each. Cause if no one else thinks they're just as cute as I am, then, and again too, if they suck, I only bought, 4 of each to kind of test them out. But yeah, those are coming soon, but there's a lot of stuff like that. There's those coil wristlets in the like trendy neutral earth tones.
Okay.
I have a bunch of those coming in. So yeah, just check it out. Keychain Thingies.
Check out the website.
Keychainthingies.com has a lot of fun stuff coming. I'm always open to suggestions if there's something you want or
the
need.
medication is working.
I see that. You okay over there?
Yeah, my ear is like I feel the drainage and it's popping. So which means it's clearing up already. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. But
Go virtual visits.
But right now it's like because it's like nasal drip behind
feel
your
it.
throat and then your ear pops.
Yeah.
So,
so that's, and then the last order of business is the LED course.
Oh yeah.
So that should hopefully it's going. Unfortunately, I keep coming up with ideas, which means it's just going to be longer and longer.
Right.
But hopefully that again makes it just that much more valuable. I'll hopefully have, several different levels where if you just want one class, you want the basic one, like here you go. If you want just a good mix of them, there'll be the middle, and then the Crystal went ham and did too many LED signs. That's going to be the top level. So hopefully I hope I'm not going to do what I did to myself the first time with the other course and literally like kill myself.
Right.
I'm going to be more reasonable this time, which it kind of sucks because it does mean it's going to take longer. But I hope at most just a couple months, so by summer at the latest. If it's earlier, fantastic. But yeah, just trying to be realistic with everything that we have going on. So hopefully you'll see some teasers here soon. There's a wait list, so just check the groups for that wait list link, and if you can't find it, just send me a message. It should be on my link tree too, so if you can find my link tree, the wait list is on there. And
then at the time of this recording, gotta congratulate Will on the new warehouse space.
On his new space.
Yeah. Big move.
See, in the old days when when you made me record in Future Sense, you wouldn't be able to talk about that yet.
What do you mean? Why not?
Because it wouldn't have happened yet when they listened or something. I don't know. Whatever.
I would have
I'm just
said
so glad that we don't have to do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
So shout out to Will. I mean, I'm excited to see like how that's gonna do for him. It was a no-brainer. Like it was hard. He really did. I mean, he did have to brain it some. He did have to think about it because it's an expense. It's not just the rent cost. There's gonna be more that goes into it and creating it an actual space that he can use and stuff. But I can't wait to see what he does it and all of the meetups that he's probably gonna have and like the one-day sessions and all of that. So
there's gonna be a trip to
my
Sacramento.
official business coach.
There's gonna be a trip to Sacramento, I think.
Oh yeah.
Sacramento, right? Is that where he? Yeah.
It just really sucks to get there.
It's gonna suck a lot more pretty soon for us.
I know.
So. I'm just said they don't need to know why it's going to suck more for us, but
yeah, true.
Not yet,
right?
But soon you'll know soon, hopefully. Yeah. So with that, thank you guys for listening as always. Don't forget to subscribe, as we already said, on YouTube. Thank you guys for subscribing on Patreon.
Yes.
And thank you for just being with us.
Yeah, we love you.
Episode 110. This has been another great episode of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're
all done.